Welcome to Building the Future, hosted by Kevin Horick. With millions of listeners a month, Building the Future has quickly become one of the fastest rising programs, with a focus on interviewing startups, entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, and more. The radio and TV show airs in 15 markets across the globe, including Silicon Valley. For full showtimes, past episodes, or to sponsor the show, please visit buildingthefutureshow.com.
The show is a proud media partner for the 11th Annual Media Excellence Awards, which are produced by Access Entertainment in Los Angeles, California. The Media Excellence Awards are recognized as the most influential awards show honoring innovation and leadership in all things mobile entertainment, lifestyle, and technology. For more information on how to submit to these awards, please visit MediaXAwards.com. Welcome back to the show. Today we have Marsha Guerrier. She's the CEO and co-founder of Women on the Rise. Marsha, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Kevin, for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on the show. You're doing and have done a ton of really interesting things. But maybe before we get into all that stuff, let's get to know you a little bit better and start off with where you grew up.
Absolutely. I grew up in a small town called Brooklyn, New York. not so small. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, very cool.
And was totally into all things Brooklyn growing up. And I don't want to age myself, Kevin, but we played ball outside. We ran around, chasing each other and riding bikes.
Back when kids did that?
back in the day when kids did those things, right?
I remember those good old days. No, that's awesome. So you went to kind of college. What did you take and what made you take it?
So when I went to college, I knew before I got to college I wanted to be a nurse.
Okay. Why was that, just out of curiosity?
And I love watching any medical show, any show where people, science, were trying to dissect animals. That I just loved it. But when I got into school and found out that I had to actually be great at science, I realized that wasn't for me. So quickly, I turned around and took myself onto the business track and started with accounting.
Okay.
I quickly got to cost accounting and realized perhaps accounting was not for me.
Okay,
and I focused more in managerial and entrepreneurship as my focus when I realized what I needed out of business and what I wanted from a business degree.
Okay, interesting. So you get out of school. Walk me through kind of your career up until kind of what you're doing now.
Yes. So I left school. So while I was in college, I maintained full-time employment in corporate America. I've always worked in the financial industry, and I grew up in a time where technology wasn't the main focus, and it was just kind of thriving and growing. And I was fortunate enough to work in the back office, so to speak, and learn the processes that we needed to book our trades and to get data into the system.
Okay.
And that grew into an amazing career for myself as a system business analyst, product manager. And so I've been doing that in the fintech space now for over 10 years, so I don't date myself too much.
Wow.
So I've been in that industry for many years, serving as a business analyst, product manager, product owner, and project manager, leading teams and being able to bring software to the forefront. I've worked with startups.
Sure.
I've worked with huge Fortune 500 companies. So I've been able to see the best of both worlds in corporate America, working for large and small companies.
Interesting. So how did you kind of transition into getting involved and creating Women on the Rise, and what exactly is it?
Women on the Rise is a small consulting and coaching business for women seeking entrepreneurship, balancing their career, deciding what it is they want to do beyond a 9 to 5, and helping them kind of discover that, build a mindset of their life. Because when you're a career professional, when you've been used to and conditioned to 9 to 5 behavior, but in your heart you have a desire for something more, it really takes a certain type of mindset. And often women would say, I want it, but they didn't know how to navigate it, how to juggle them both. And then they often would say, well, I need to quit my 9 to 5 tomorrow in order to do what I want. And so I help people manage that transition. And sometimes the transition never goes anywhere. You don't have to leave your 9 to 5 until, the money's really phenomenal, right?
Sure.
So
I think that's actually really good advice in itself, right? To anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure the time is right. Make sure you set things up properly for yourself. And sometimes if you're like me, I'm not sure that I'm ready to leave 9 to 5. I still have my 9 to 5 because I love the space I work in. Sure. I get to learn new things about technology. I get to surround myself with a network of people that are making me better to support the women that I support in my own business. And I've been fortunate enough to work with and work for startups and have amazing CEOs and millionaire mentors that are excited to see that I'm able to do both effectively.
Sure. Well, and I also think that, not all employers, but a lot of employers, if you kind of have an entrepreneurial mindset and you're doing things outside of kind of the workday, or maybe you work different hours or something certain times, but a lot of the times the stuff you're doing outside of kind of your day job can actually benefit your day job, right? And I think employers are starting to see that a lot more. And it sounds like you agree with that.
I do agree with that. And I remember when the current job that I hold right now, it was a small startup, and we have been fortunate enough to have been since sold. And that's the dream for every startup, right? Make it, right? And you get sold, and now, we're part of a bigger corporation. But I remember in my interview, the CEO asked me, and I interviewed directly with the CEO, and he asked me, so how do you feel about entrepreneurship? And do you have any entrepreneurial aspirations? It took me a second to respond because I didn't know, is this a trick question? Because they did not want me to have that. Because, some bosses do not.
Yeah,
some
that's
major
fair.
Corporations, they do want you to solely focus on them. But something told me to just share with him what I've been doing. And I was open and honest, and I told him exactly what I'm doing. And the reason why I even interviewed with them is because they were so small in a startup. And that's where I feel that my expertise and my experience lends itself the best.
Sure.
And we were a match.
Interesting. So walk me through kind of the conference, because you have something coming up right away. Walk me through that, and it's your 5th year, so congrats on that. But what exactly are you doing with the conference?
Thank you so much. So when I started Women on the Rise, I wanted to not just consult and coach with women, but I wanted to give them a space where they can, women entrepreneurs and career professionals can be celebrated. They could come and learn the tools and resources they need in order to kind of develop themselves in their career or business. So for the conference, we have always put together an agenda that would give them lessons in starting a business, financing, how to properly maintain financial records, from your career versus your business, from your personal finances versus your business, things like career mobility, if you are, because usually we are the A types, right? Sometimes.
Sure. Yep.
And we want to still climb the corporate ladder while we're maintaining our careers while still pursuing entrepreneurship. So teaching people how to kind of balance the both.
Sure.
At the conference, we have women entrepreneurs that talk about different ways to get into entrepreneurship, like multi-level marketing. I think it's so important that people understand, oftentimes you have the heart and the passion for entrepreneurship, or you want to start a business. I do think that there's sometimes a difference between entrepreneurship and running and owning a business. Sometimes they could be different, and they just don't know where to start.
Sure.
They know they want extra income. They know they want to make a difference in their lives. So multi-level marketing businesses can be a great entry point to have support, a supportive team to help you learn about small business, running a business. And so we bring that conversation to our conference as well. Part of the conference is, one thing we added last year was a pitch contest, which we found to be so amazing and helpful for our attendees. You get to come pitch your business. It gives you the motivation and excitement to, one, learn the areas of business where you probably were not concentrating on before you came to pitch.
Interesting.
Oftentimes people they're not thinking about the financials and what aspects of how much money are they actually earning versus spending, how much is operating, are you paying yourself back, how important that is for people to know. And if you want to take your business to that next level and begin to work with and search for investors, what does that look like for you in terms of developing your pitch and giving your pitch? So we were able to bring that to the conference last year, and we're super excited about a new partnership we formed this year with HSN American Dreams.
Very cool.
Which is so awesome, which
That's
is the
huge,
home shopping network. That is so major and so fantastic. We're so excited. The Home Shopping Network is bringing their pitch event to our conference. We are teaming up with star entrepreneur Lily Gil Valletta, who is bringing her team from Dreamers Ventures and from HSN to allow people to pitch their products to possibly make it onto HSN's platform.
That's huge,
90 million households.
Did you say 90 million
households?
Wow.
90 million households.
Wow.
You can have your product presented on their platform. If you go to, people often like, well, I'm not HSN ready. There's no such thing. You have a business, you're running it, you have a physical product, you are ready. It's not just you have a product, okay, tomorrow you get on TV in front of their million. They have a whole academy. They take you through training. They want you to really, truly be HSN ready.
Yeah, they're not going to put you up there if they know you're going to fail, right? They'll give you the tools or help you through what you need to make sure that you get some sort of success out of the thing, right?
Absolutely. And it's about bottom line. They want the bottom line. They want you to succeed because they want you to sell.
Sure, and their reputation's on the line too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, interesting. So walk me through a little bit of how did you kind of get that partnership? Did you reach out to them? Did you connect with somebody? Or like, how did you actually hook that up? Because that's a huge deal.
It's major, and you will never guess. Last year, I attended another conference by one of my mentors, entrepreneur mentors.
Very cool.
Lucinda Cross, her Activate conference here in New York.
Okay.
She had the partnership with them.
Okay.
They came to her event last year and for their pitch event, and I pitched to them. I pitched to Lily and to Dara, who were the two. Dara is actually with HSN, and Lily is one of their star entrepreneurs that facilitates these tours for them. And I pitched to them. My product didn't get picked up, but that wasn't. Although that is your biggest dream, I just was so excited to have that opportunity to get their feedback. They gave me amazing feedback that I have been easily able to implement immediately.
Nice.
And within months of implementing their feedback, but the product that I did have is fully done and ready for market.
Very cool.
It's an amazing opportunity. And I have since then attended many events that Dara from HSN and Lily have put together through her company, Dreamers Ventures. And from there, we just formed a relationship.
That's
It's
great.
building an authentic relationship, showing up, networking. And one day, Lily was like, "Why don't we bring the pitch event to your conference?"
Very cool.
And I hit the floor.
That's great,
I
though.
was
Congrats
like,
on that. That's huge.
Thank you so much. It wasn't something that I was aiming for. I wasn't, attending their events for that purpose. I just was excited to learn from them. The teachings and the things the exposure that they give you was so phenomenal that I knew I needed to just continue to make that connection and build those relationships with them. And it paid off big.
Sure. Well, I also think that's really good advice to people too, right? I think to your point, like just network and meet people, and you never know where the relationships that you make, where they'll go to, right? Some will go nowhere. Some will create these amazing opportunities for you that you kind of never dreamt of, and kind of everywhere in between, right?
Absolutely. That is networking. For some people it's taboo because most entrepreneurs will tell you, I'm an introvert, so I don't know how I made it so successfully. But the truth is, you made it because you were networking.
Yeah.
We even a person with a silver spoon that, is handed over the money they need or seed money, you still need to then further go out to talk to people, to tell them about your product. So you are always networking when you are an entrepreneur. And the same goes for career professionals. We talk about that too at the conference. Most people climb the corporate ladder because of networking,
Sure.
because
Yeah.
they become social, because they are getting to know other people, especially those of influence that could help them. When a position opens up, if you're someone who has been networking and you have put the word out that you may be looking, they think about you.
Yep. Even networking in your own company,
key.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, interesting.
Absolutely. But
Keep going, sorry.
I was going to say, even as the CEOs, you have to come out of your office in order to have that open door policy, to have your staff and employees know that you appreciate and value them as staff and employees. So it's important that whatever level you are at, that you must network.
I think that's really good advice. So for people that are interested in kind of getting more information and actually attending the conference, when exactly is it and where is it?
The conference is in New York City at the LaGuardia Plaza Hotel on October 19th and 20th. It's 2 days filled with epic, awesome, spectacular workshops. We have amazing panel discussions. We also have a panel discussion on with media experts from Amazing Magazine. Mademoiselle Magazine will be represented there, and we're going to be able to talk to them about how you're approaching. As entrepreneurs, one of the best things for us to spread the word about our businesses are interviews and getting mentioned in media. So it's important to know how to approach people that you meet and sometimes that you don't meet, and understand how you can kind of break the wall and get to know people of influence through media. And so you can sign up directly on our website, www.womenontheriseny.com.
Perfect. So you've kind of mentioned some of the other kind of coaching and programs you do, but what exactly do you do kind of if people are looking to work with you on kind of helping them through this journey, whether they come to the event or not?
Thank you. A good question. So there are a couple of things that I do depending on where you are in your business.
Okay.
Oftentimes, we know that when you have an idea already and you know what it is you want to do, you know that you are a real estate agent, or you know that you want to have a daycare center, we work together to organize the process for your business. Organize all of the elements that is required for you to actually run a successful business. We go through your marketing. We go through your branding. We work together one-on-one to go through making sure that you have all the legal requirements that's necessary for you to be in business. And we work one-on-one. One of the greatest things that I've found in working with my clients is that the number one thing that holds them back in their business is their mindset. So we're often working on mindset.
Okay,
and we're often working on rearranging the thought process from a 9-to-5er to an entrepreneur, to being their own boss. Oftentimes people think, well, now I'm my own boss and I just blew half the morning. It's because they're not creating structure. So we help them organize and prioritize their day, their life, and make sure that we are taking proper stock of what we're doing and making sure that it's in alignment with the business and the vision. And so a lot of our time is spent on really organizing your schedule. Entrepreneurs think, oh, I have my own time, so I have time for everything. And then they find that they are behind, and the productivity is actually failing, right? Because they create no structure. So we're oftentimes working on mindset and organization.
Got you.
You already know what you want, right? You already know what you can do oftentimes. And then we have another group of, we do our mastermind twice a year for the individual that is really just starting out and needs to take a slower approach.
Okay.
Because when we work one-on-one in coaching, we're kind of going full steam, right?
Sure.
There's most things you're already incorporated, or your LLC, you've gone through that already for the most part. So our mastermind is helping and assisting in a group setting to go through all the things that we would go through if you were doing one-on-one. It's just going to take you a little bit longer through our 6-month mastermind to ease you into your entrepreneurship or your business.
No, I think that's actually really interesting because to your point, I think some people are kind of in such an early stage of this stuff, but they still need kind of help, right? And if you do it kind of a couple times a year, I think they feel less pressure than if it's kind of this like weekly thing that they're paying somebody to kind of coach them on, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. People are often like, well, I paid a coach and I didn't get anything from it, so I don't want to pay that kind of money, because masterminds are usually cheaper than a private coaching contract. So what happens is I say to them, let's not blame the coach. Were you ready? Were you ready to commit once a week for X amount of time to really devote and dedicate to your business? Sometimes, for the most part, the answer is no. And then you have people that perhaps you have to talk down to think that they're ready. And I actually have to convince my clients, and it takes some convincing that they need to pace themselves.
Interesting.
Oftentimes, they come and they're like, well, I want to be rich and famous by tomorrow. What can we do?
Buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah. And so it's so interesting to see that, especially with today's social media, what I find is that even when they look at me and they say, but Marsha, you've done it, you're doing it, you're so good. I've been doing it for over 5 years.
Sure.
I started the Woman on the Rise brand 5 years ago, but before that, I was doing it under a different name or entity. So I've been doing it for such a long time, and maybe you're now just coming to know me and who I am. So it may seem like an overnight success to you.
Yeah.
But it's actually not. It actually has been taking a long time to get to where I am, and you need to understand that you have to take that same consideration for your life, because life gets in the way.
Yep.
Your kids or your desires and aspirations to do other things, to be more social, to have family time, and all of that, you want to maybe go back for another degree or certification. There's just so many things that come into play. God forbid you have an accident whatever it is. You don't know, you get promoted at your job and you didn't expect it to come. So now you feel the pressure to do more at work and spend more time there. So you really got to take your time to really understand where you are at the different times in your life.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice, because you're right. Like, so many people think they like idolize somebody, and then they realize it's like, well, yes, that person might be successful in your eyes, but like they just have different problems than you, right? Like, they might be saying,
Right.
okay, I'm making 50 grand a year, hypothetically. And then they're like, okay, I'm trying to get to 75. And then they get to 75, and then they're like 100,000. And it's like, okay, I'm comfortable now. I can quit my job, or whatever that number is. But like, then that
Right.
ends up like, okay, now I need to bring in another 100 grand every year, or, break that down monthly. Like, because I quit my job now, I don't have that income coming in. Like, it's just different problems, right? That different people at different levels of success are struggling with.
Exactly.
Have you found that?
Exactly what I found. I call it a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
of
sure,
entrepreneurship, because there's always a milestone, and that's why I tell people, just look at break things up into milestones.
Sure.
So you always get to the point where, awesome, I broke that 50 grand, I broke that 100 grand. Now I need to make sure, and now I'm able to leave my job, right?
Yeah.
So now, where is the security? There is none.
Yep.
You're going to work 10 times harder to maintain. Getting to the first 100 grand is not the difficult part. Maintaining that for years after, staying relevant in the world of technology, staying on top of the relationships you've already built, and not letting those suffer because you're trying to gain new clients, because that's the way to really increasing. Right? You need to continue to let more people know about you. There's 7 billion people in the world. They all need to hear about you. So you can't simply always focus on that first group of customers that got you that first 100,000. You have to continue to evolve. Technology is making it more and more difficult. It's supposed to be easy, but it's actually difficult, especially for people that are kind of have that tunnel vision. Okay, I've just mastered LinkedIn. I'm set. And then it's like, oh, well, here's Periscope. Or here is
Sure, yeah. You're right.
Here's Snapchat. So you don't know what's coming around the corner. So you have to be on top of this technology and be able to move swiftly with the times in order to meet those different markets of people.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that's really great advice.
Thanks for listening to Building the Future. This show is heard by more than 1 million people monthly in over 15 markets worldwide, including Silicon Valley. Kevin Horick's guests are leading business owners, successful entrepreneurs, and merchandisers worldwide. Now, your brand has an opportunity to tap into this dedicated and active group of business people who are looking for places to invest and the right opportunities to support. Find out how you can get involved at buildingthefutureshow.com.
You've also written a book, and you're working on another one. What exactly did you write in the book, and what exactly are they?
Our first book, well, I've written it. The first book is called Life Balance for Women on the Rise.
Okay.
And both books actually are anthologies where I've assembled other women in my network that I believe are doing it great in their field. So the Life Balance for Women on the Rise book is really advice-driven and resource and tool-driven to give women the resources they need to help them find what they may consider to be balanced. I really talk about in my chapter, there's no such thing as balance.
Sure.
We use that term to help people kind of get a sense of what it is in life they're trying to strive for.
Okay.
And so when you break it down, you realize, okay, there's no such thing as balance, so what am I doing? Can I have it all? And the answer is yes. But the answer goes beyond that. It's yes, but you need to prioritize the things that you want in your life in the right time and moment. Not everything can happen today, but perhaps by the end of the week, I can accomplish it all if I prioritize and balance out my life in a way that's meaningful to me, connecting with the values that you have. So if you're spending like 10% of your time on something that has no relation to the values that you hold important, whether it's your family, your business, your career, but you find that you are doing something that really doesn't help you move further in your life in any of those areas, then it's time to reevaluate and adjust the things that you're doing. So we talk about that and how to manage your spirituality, your relationships, how your finances. It's such a juggling act to really manage your finances when you are trying to build a business, and knowing just how much to give in every area of your life is key, because the startup capital comes from you first and foremost. And so you can't just take all your money out of one place and put it into the business. So we talk about that, and we talk about your health and your wellness, and putting all those things together in one book. The second book, soon to be released in October, is called Business Success Strategies for Women on the Rise again. And this is another anthology of a group of women that I believe are doing great things as they're no longer new entrepreneurs, but the book is really geared towards women that are new and aspiring in entrepreneurship and are looking for some tips and resources to help them in their early stages of starting a business. So this book is going to talk about, the authors will share their journeys and give advice and tips on how they were able to overcome some of the obstacles.
Interesting.
And also give advice on how someone else can do the same. It's really just motivational with some resources mixed in. So the books that I put together, I really like for them to be tools and resources. It shares a story in order for you to relate to someone else. You're not the only one going through what you're going through. So many of us are going through ups and downs, and sometimes it's just all wins. But at any given moment, you may have setbacks, and the book will really inspire you and motivate you and help you succeed in your business. I have another publication that I put together. It's a planner. So one of the biggest things, like I said earlier, I found that when working with my clients, we have to get organized. Mm-hmm. And so I created a planner to help myself and my clients get organized. And the planner is actually based on faith. So it's called Plan, Pray, Prosper. Okay. And I incorporate daily scheduling, weekly prayer focus, a monthly prayer focus, and weekly scripture all in one planner. And we created a kit because you can't always carry your big bulky planner with you everywhere, but sometimes you want to carry that prayer focus or scripture and even affirmations with you when you're on the go. So we created pocket cards as an extension of the planner for people to be able to take on the go with them. So I developed the planner kit, and that's actually the product that I pitched to HSN last year. And they gave me some fantastic advice and feedback on how to bring it better to market. Okay. And I did exactly that. I took the production of the kit offshore and got everything produced and manufactured in China. Interesting. And so I'm super excited about that. We were selling at a high margin last year before we did that, and now we're able to bring this product to market at a reasonably affordable price.
Interesting. No, that's really good feedback then that you heard, right, from them?
Oh, absolutely. The greatest part of this whole experience with them is the feedback that they were able to give me. And it would have been even 10 times more awesome had I got chosen.
Sure.
But I do know that my product specifically, I knew going in that there was a great chance that I wouldn't get picked for the platform. I've seen other planners on their platform, and that's the other thing I love about the HSN American Dreams. When you look at their platform, you go to their website and you look at the products that are out there, it is everything. Don't think that, well, I make baked goods. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I've seen food on their channels.
Interesting.
So they have everything. So it's not just an innovation or an invention that you do that's gonna like revolutionize your hair system or brushing your hair or cook. Like, it's everything that I've seen them bring to market. Fashion, health and wellness, auto related. So there's just endless possibilities for whatever industry you're in, for you to pitch your product to HSN.
Interesting. No, I think that's really good advice, right? Like the thing that's kind of fascinating to me when we kind of connected is you're doing a bunch of things, obviously, that we just kind of talked about. And you mentioned you still kind of work full time. So you're kind of living and breathing the stuff that you're actually helping other people with. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. And I think that's why people connect with me so much, right? Because I'm living it, I'm doing it, and I'm managing pretty well. I respect my employer so much that I don't jeopardize my job for my business. I work in a structured, I know how many clients I could take a year. Sure. And that's why I have a group mastermind. I can help more people with the group work that I do. So it's really, really understanding exactly how much you can take. Sure. And how and organizing yourself in that way.
Sure. And actually, you brought up something that's interesting, is you figured out a way with your mastermind group to actually reach more people because you don't have the time to take on more than X amount of clients a year.
Right.
Which is
that was big for me. Yes, it was a big thing for me to realize. I think I started Women on the Rise with a mastermind, and then realized that each person wanted a more individual attention. Okay. But I knew in the beginning that I could reach more people, and that the mastermind is not just about what they're learning. Mm-hmm. It's also about developing that network and sisterhood of supportive women that are usually on the same level of journey that you're at and that you're in. We pair people off so that they get accountability partners as well. It goes beyond me. So I'm just a facilitator, and I'm the person that connects everyone together. I'm the master trainer. I do lead them in the subjects of each month. But the great thing about the mastermind is that people really connect with one another.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. You're basically bringing together a community, and you're getting your name kind of constantly out there because you set up other people and you give them the tools to kind of do their own thing, kind of come back. They probably tell their people about it. So they're almost kind of like helping you market your kind of, products and services as well. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Genius, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it very much is. I think it's actually really good advice, because I think part of the struggle with anybody that's trying to do anything, kind of once you build something kind of in the physical world or the online world, kind of merging the two together and then kind of creating a community around that is actually really tricky, and you figured it out.
It is. It not to say it's easy.
No, it's incredibly difficult.
Not to say it's easy at all, but it is really one of the most, I would say, useful, or what's the word I want to say? for the people out there that are looking to build a business, whether it's a consulting business, even whether it's you do have a product, building that community is one of the greatest things that you could do for yourself.
Okay.
Is to build a community. Share your gift with as many people as you can at the same time. And that, like you said, will continue to multiply the word being spread and really get more people exposed to your service, your business, your product. It's important to build that community. And social media has been a great tool to help people do that.
Sure. So how do you kind of manage your time? Like, I'm assuming you use the planner and whatnot, but like it's more complicated than that sometimes. Like, how do you decide, how much time to put into kind of, work and your business and then kind of just your own personal time?
Sometimes it gets decided for me. I do have a 3-year-old.
Okay,
I
sure.
do have a 3-year-old son. I'm a single mom to my little boy. And it really is about reflection and reevaluation.
Okay.
Because like I said, things could spiral out of control at any moment. And then the planner goes out the window. I mean, my planner, by the way, is undated because even myself and many people that I know, you put away that planner and it's like January 1st, everyone's planning everything out, right?
Yep.
That first quarter of the year, you're like, ooh, gung-ho about your planner. And then you're so busy and things start slowing down, and so you put the planner away. I have the best supportive team, family, and friends that I surround myself with. And they keep me honest and accountable about the things that I say that I know are important. Say out loud to the people that are closest to you what it is you want for yourself. And even if they're not involved in it, even if they have no interest in the business that you run or the industry that you're in, they will hold you accountable.
Yeah.
It's been so fascinating for me to have my friends and family and even my 3-year-old son remind me that I have a book, remind me that he needs to go play. So that means I need to go work out. So it's really about keeping the right people in your circle that's going to help you continue to elevate.
No, I think that's actually really good advice. And the one thing I noticed, like, I live and die by my calendar now, and like I've probably never been more busy now that I've like had kids and like work full time, and then I do the show and like a couple other things. Like, I've probably never been more busy. And you realize, like, when I was in my like late teens or 20s, you're like, I had so much time.
Kevin, can we talk about that, Kevin?
Sure,
I mean,
sure, of
that
course.
what you just said is so real. I said to everybody, why did I wait till I had a kid to amp up my goals? Like, how?
Yep.
I waited till I had no time left in my life to amp up everything I want to accomplish. Like, I have I don't even understand. It's the drive and the motivation when you do have a family, when there is more than just you at stake, when you have that passion, it just makes you want it even more.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like you're like now accountable to others more than you were before, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. So you must see kind of the same hurdles or kind of make-believe kind of stuff that people kind of throw at you. Like, I can't start because of X, Y, and Z. Do you maybe want to talk a little bit about how do you help or encourage people to kind of get over their fears or their doubts or whatever that is? Because you must hear kind of the same stuff over and over again. And how do you kind of help people kind of get through that and actually start? Because like the most successful people that have ever lived just decided to go for it one day, which sounds incredibly simple. And it's way more complicated than that. But like they just made the decision to actually get over whatever they need to get over and just go for it one day.
Right. I always start with, I ease them into my pain. So I say, okay, for the next couple of weeks or the first few weeks, I need you to document what you're doing.
Okay.
Right. So I hold a mirror up to their face. Right.
Okay, sure.
So we go over those values and what they say they want. Then I make them document. No, like real exercise or work. Tell me what you're doing then.
Sure.
Who are the people around you? And then I hold the mirror up to their face and I say, how is this in alignment with what you are asking?
Sure.
And then we talk about what here caused you to not do the things that you needed to do in order to move your business further or in order for you to start, right?
Mm-hmm. And
then we talk about those limiting beliefs that they have. Well, I didn't have the money. Did you need money? So I often get to show them, I get to show them ways how you can have social presence without spending money. You can create landing pages as a website or you spend very little money, right?
Sure.
We'll get you a domain for under $20 or whatever it is, and then we'll create a landing page. There's so many ways for you to have, people think they need hundreds of dollars and thousands to build a website, to have a web presence.
Yeah,
not
Squarespace
not
is like $5 a month or something and you can get a free domain or something or Wix, or there's a handful of them. They're like $5, $10, $15, $20 a month, right? Yeah, you're right.
Right. And you don't even have to do that. There are services like MailerLite that will allow you to do it for free.
Yeah,
you
there
can
you
go. It's primarily for a lead magnet page, but there are ways we've learned, coaches who are out here doing it, to use those free resources and tools to help you get that footing you need to start. It doesn't cost you anything to go down to your local library and talk to the research librarian to find out the information you need to help you move further along in your industry. Maybe it's an industry you're not too comfortable or sure about where to get access. The library is the best resource out there for you. You can do that. So we talk to them, and I help them, or my clients, really remind themselves that, one, they know their stuff already. You've chosen that profession because and I was about to curse, but I know this might be PG. So you know your stuff already.
Sure.
You are the master at what it is you do. So why are you holding yourself back? Who is around you that you're keeping around you to have that negative mindset? And we build upon their mindset in that way. And we make sure that they are surrounded by, again, just that community of like-minded people.
Sure. Well, and I think, and give me your thoughts on this after. I think the big thing that people think about this stuff sometimes is that they basically have to alternate their entire lifestyle. And I think the best example, and well, you can maybe it's not the best example. It's an example that I like to use sometimes. Is and you can tell me what your thoughts on are. It's okay, say it's 8:00 on a Friday night or Saturday night or Sunday night or Wednesday night. It doesn't really matter the night of the week. Your kids are in bed. It's house is quiet. It's 8 or 9 or 10 p.m. And instead of you maybe binge watching 3 or 4 episodes of your favorite show on Netflix or cable TV or wherever, maybe just watch one and then spend an hour or maybe an hour and a half or a couple hours and actually work on your project. Put up that landing page. A lot of times if they're free or they're a little bit paid, $5, $10 a month or free, it only takes you maybe an hour or two to get it up online. And if you can chisel out an hour a week, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to try to chisel out 2 hours a week or an hour and a half a week. And you take it from, other activities. But you don't have to say okay, every night from 6 p.m. till midnight, I'm going to work on my whatever it is. You just say I'm going to cut back on some of the other kind of maybe things that, well, it sounds bad, but watching TV isn't really working on your business. It just isn't, right?
Not at all.
So I'm not saying
not
don't
the most
cut
productive
out.
use of your time.
Yeah, but you don't have to cut out watching Netflix or whatever. Just cut it back. What are your thoughts on that?
Right. I so agree with you. It's the same thing they say about working out. 3
Sure.
days a week, so the doctor tells you 3 days a week,
Sure.
30 minutes minimum to keep you active and healthy,
Sure.
to have a moderate, healthy fitness lifestyle.
Sure.
It's the same thing with your business. And it really depends on how far and how fast you want to get.
Sure.
But when you're just starting out and you have a million things racing in your mind, it's sometimes best to put it away. And like you said, steal away wake up 1 hour early.
Sure.
Every day. Wake up 1 hour before your normal time that you have to leave for work or to get the kids ready, and work on something for your business in the morning.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead, maybe twice a week, instead of going out for a big lunch with the team or something at work, use that 1 hour of lunch that you get to maybe work on your own stuff.
Sure.
During the day.
Or update social media or something, right? Yeah.
A perfect example. Update your social media at that time. Let people know that you're still active throughout the day. But it's respecting your boss's time and doing it on your lunchtime, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And then what I often say is, you don't sleep that much. Like you said, you're watching TV, maybe you're reading a book. Use that time. If you're like in a metro city, like I am with mass transit, and you're not driving to work,
Sure.
and you're on the train, make sure you're spending that train time reading, writing the copy that you need for that website or that landing page, or putting together your social media for that day,
Yeah.
or for that week, or for that month, whatever it is. But there is time in the day, and that's part of what we do when we restructure people. After that 4 weeks and initial time that we look at what they have been doing, then we build out a schedule of how to properly add in time. Make sure you're replying to emails properly, keeping your customers, knowing that you are keeping them first and remembering them, and having a proper structure. And then another thing, a lot of entrepreneurs think, I need to respond right away to everything.
Yeah.
You don't need to respond right away to everything. You can build in what we call operating agreements for yourself.
Sure.
It's important sometimes. You go to corporate America and there's a standard operating agreement in almost every other department, right? If you're in a call center, they tell you have 6 hours to answer this type of email, or 24 hours to respond to these type of requests. And you can build those same things. Take everything you learn in corporate America and what they've taught you there, and apply that to your own business. It's been proven. That's why corporate America is what it is. Use those strategies for your own self.
Sure. And the other thing that I would add to that I found that's worked for me, and I've heard other people's do, is they either listen, like if they're driving in a car, they'll listen to like an audio book or podcasts that are in their field. And like, maybe they don't want to use data. Like a lot of the time you can download them right to your device, so you're not using data while you're driving, or maybe you don't care about the data, but like, there's a lot of really good kind of audiobooks. A lot of, even your public library carries audiobooks as well. So like, or you can subscribe to something.
Did you know about that?
Yeah.
Isn't that great? The libraries have this awesome thing that they're allowing people to get audio books for free through your library. You just have to be a part of that library.
Exactly,
and live in that
right?
community, most likely.
And then if you listen to a podcast that's covering the stuff that you want to learn about, like there's a lot of ways to do it very cheap or free, right? I think a lot of people kind of forget about that stuff as well. And I just kind of wanted to add to that because I think I found that useful for me.
Yes, it really is useful.
So, Marsha.
And what are you listening to now?
Oh.
Are you
I just finished not that long ago, to be honest. What was it called? The name escapes me. It's like MBA in a book or audio book. It's like a whole kind of, it gives you basically like an MBA and it talks about all the stuff that you should kind of learn about like your business. And then he kind of gives really good examples. And then he gives you kind of like other reference material. For example, like when they cover accounting, he's like, here's kind of the basics, but if you want to learn more, go read like these 3 books, right? So I found that like that was kind of really interesting for me. But we're running out of time. So maybe let's close with mentioning where people can get more information about all the stuff you're doing, the conference, and any other links you want to mention.
It's been such a good time chatting with you, Kevin. Anybody could reach me, find out more information about my mastermind and my coaching program, as well as the conference at www.womenontheriseny.com.
Perfect, Marsha. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be on the show, and I look forward to keeping in touch with you, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too, Kevin.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thanks for listening. Please visit our website at buildingthefutureshow.com to join the free community, sign up for our newsletter, or to sponsor the show. The music is done by Electric Mantra. You can check him out at electricmantra.com and keep building the future.